Hello guys, in this series we will learn about Laravel 8, which is the newest Laravel version as of 2018, as of April 2018, sorry, what am I talking about? April 2021, I have no idea why I said 18, but yeah, so and the framework of choice, I have no idea what I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use Vue, but I would actually prefer React, and yeah, so I haven't decided on that yet, but I will soon. So let's take a look here at the Laravel website. So we have a Laravel website here. And as you can see, we have a documentation, and I will follow the documentation. I know how to do a lot of things, but I also want to follow the documentation so I can teach you how to use the documentation for yourself, so you can become better at using documentations if you need that. So here is the installation. You can learn how to install it like on Mac OS or Windows. Here is on Linux. So Laravel is actually a very good, if you don't know what Laravel is, I should actually start with that. If you don't know what Laravel is a PHP framework. And it solves a lot of problems that supposedly PHP has. Like people say that PHP is prone to that it's very easy to write spaghetti code in PHP, and Laravel solves that. Everything is nicely organized, and yeah, so here's again the documentation. We have like something like architecture concepts like request lifecycle. We have service providers. So it's, they use a lot of words that are kind of like professional, like service providers, and routing is not that professional. It's kind of, but or like facades. Like a facade is like a shortcut class that like is dependency injection class that Laravel uses. So we have facades here. We have helper functions, when to use facades, and we will go over basics like routing. So this is a basic route, get route. We need to specify, it's a static function, as you can see by the double colon here, and you write get for a get method, and you specify a URL here, so it could be greeting or something else, and then the simplest form of what to return or what to show on this request, on any request that you make. You can see here we will return hello world, so it will show hello world on the screen. So basically you can also connect a route with a controller. In earlier versions of Laravel, you didn't need to include the controller when defining a route, but in this 8, I think it started with 8, I'm not really sure, but from version 8 you need to actually import it using the use statement, and you need to specify the whole path, the whole namespace, I mean, into the controller. So once you specify the namespace, you can use the controller using the array syntax, where you write the controller here and then this index is actually a method, a public method that you write in the controller. So available router methods, we have get, post, put, patch, delete, and options. Most likely you will be using get, post, put, and delete. Patch is like put. Options you will not use that much. So or you can use any keyword, so it matches any route, any method. So we have CSRF protection. If you don't know what CSRF is, I can explain really fast. It's basically so that we are protected from requests being made by third-party websites or HTTP clients like Postman. So you need a CSRF token. You can include it in a form. CSRF only works on post, most likely put as well, but yeah. So you include add CSRF when you're writing your templates. You just include this add CSRF and it will magically put an input in a hidden input field into the form. So you can also redirect from one route to another with the status code of 301, which is permanently moved. Permanent redirect, the same thing. So you can also return a view. You say route colon view, and then you say which route, which URL it should match, and then you specify which view it should return. We will go into which files are actually responsible, which folder is responsible for displaying the views. So we have route parameters, so you can actually have routes that are dynamic. This route is a get route, and it goes to user / dynamic ID. So basically you get the access to this dynamic ID. Let's say if it was 2, then this variable ID would be 2, and this return statement would return user 2. You can have multiple parameters. So they could be post and comment, and it will, in this order that you write them in the URL, they will be accessible in the function. So basically you can also have optional parameters, which we will do. I think I will actually use React to as a front-end framework. So I will show you how to use optional parameters there, because it will be necessary for a React router. We can have regular expressions. This is where actually this route for React will be used. So as you can see, you can have named routes, and there's a lot of things. Route groups. We will use routing groups. We will actually use a prefix, which is the same as in older versions. So we will have a route prefix, and this here will say API, and then we'll group it into a function that will have different routes. So yeah, that's routing. You can read a lot more about it, but that's the basics. We have middleware, we have controllers that we will go through. I'm thinking I will take the ones that you will most likely use. So you will use middleware most likely, and you can use CSRF protection. It's not really you don't really. I mean, if this Laravel application will be hosted, it will be used as the API, and the frontend will have its own website, then you can't really use CSRF protection in this case. So it's not really something you will use every time, but controllers you will use, and request responses, views, break templates you might use if you're not using Vue or React. So validation and stuff, digging deeper, let's see what it does. Artisan console, I will introduce you to different so basically Laravel has its own CLI, and it's called Artisan. Let's take a look. And yeah, so there are many different commands that I will show you in the upcoming videos, and they all start with the PHP Artisan. So basically, if you want to populate the database with your tables and stuff, you will write PHP Artisan migrate. So that's one command, and I will also show you which folder and how to make the migrations. It's called a migration. One migration is basically one table. And we have mail. I will show you how to send mail. I will show you security. Let's see, authentication. I will show you. I might show you authorization if there's time. Database. We have. I will show you pagination. I will show you the query builder and migrations, and maybe seeding as well. So seeding is putting some kind of data into the database for testing purposes, and it will not be used in production. And related to the database will be the Eloquent ORM, which you can read more about here. And I will show you relationships, and yeah, so basically in databases you have like in MySQL or Postgres or SQLite, you have relations where you can see the many relations here: one to one, one to many, many to many, has one through, has many through, one to one, that's polymorphic. I will show you one to one, one to many, many to many, and maybe we'll have these two as well. So testing I will not get into, simply because I just don't like it. I don't like testing. And I will show you different packages. I will show you Cashier, which is a package, official Laravel package for connecting Stripe integration into your Laravel installation. And I will show you also Socialite, I think I will show you, which is a package for authenticating with different social media, or not necessarily social media, but from different providers like Facebook. You can hear the list here: Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket. I did a video on Sanctum, so you can watch that if you want. And yeah, so the rest I will show you if there is actually some demand for that. I will make videos about that. So basically that's it, guys. I will create different videos. It will be a series on Laravel and React. I have decided that's going to be React. You can use Vue as well. I might show how to make a Vue application as well. So yeah, that's the goal of the series. I hope you had a good impression of Laravel and what it can do for you. Well, you haven't really seen much code of it, but we will get into it very soon. So I hope you guys will stick around, and please subscribe, like, and comment the videos. It really helps the YouTube algorithm to get my videos seen by more people, so I can help more people with their coding dreams. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you.